People, deluded, I'm back again. Good morning to those of you in the UK. I hope you're all doing well and safe. You know, I say UK, I can't forget that DG is an international brand now. DG Nation's global and them things there. So while I'm saying good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, depending on who you are, wherever you are, I give you a lot of behind the scenes spoiler, people. When I say good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night, I always forget it, so you can't see it, but my hands are going like this, people, so I don't forget it. You know, I give you the dark arts. Yeah, like I said, I hope you're all doing well and safe. International football's been a bore. It's been long. I know I haven't gone away. There's been talking points here, there, and everywhere. But yeah, we're finally back to Premier League football now. Premier League football is back, you know, Arsenal versus Liverpool. We're going to get into it in a second. I see 3 of you locked in. I appreciate all of you lot. Courtney Raymond, great name. You know, you said, yes, DG, appreciate the hard work you're putting in every day. Smash the like button, people. Appreciated, my guy. Live from Planet X is saying, big up the DG Nation and big up DG. Long day. I'm excited for this stream. I appreciate you. Good afternoon to you as well, Omar. And yeah, like I said, big up everybody that's tuned in at this moment in time, people. I must admit, I'm all over the place. Here it goes. Cool, my internet is back. I mean, not my internet. The live stream manager is back. I can see what's going on. Man said, good evening. Shout out to Ray. Big up yourself, Mr. Adlib. I appreciate you in each and every time, man. Consistency is key. And without you guys, there'd be no point. But yeah, let's jump straight into Liverpool mode, man. There's no need to waste time. I don't know how I feel about this game. Ask me come the end of Saturday evening, because I'm excited to see Arsenal Football Club return. Again, the stress might return. Now, again, I don't know, man. For me, I said it in the title. I think I changed the title. I want bravery, people. I want bravery. We're going to get into it in a bit, but I want bravery. If we are to win, lose, or whatever, I want it to be we had half a goal. I don't want us to sit back and be reluctant, much like we did when we lost 3-1 to them. Because even though we lost, there was chances we could have taken. You know, Lacazette could have scored. We did concede some stupid goals. We didn't hold on to the lead that we took initially. And things like that. So it's going to be a very interesting game, man. Maths debater, I appreciate you. Josh, come on, my guy. So yeah, we might as well. Why waste any time? Let's get straight into this, people. Let me change my screen with you guys, people. So yeah, man, big up Dapo and whatever you're saying, DJ. But yeah, shout out to you regardless. Not quite sure what you meant there. But anyways, there's 22 of you. Please make sure you've hit the like button. Please make sure you've hit the like button. Also, please make sure you're aware, because, you know, Saturday is watch along business and live reaction and all of those sort of things, man. What is football chat saying? You said, big up yourself, DG. Hope you're good, bro. I'm good, my guy. I'm good, man. I've got my health. You know, I've got a good sort of fan base, and you lot that come and support the thing each and every time. So it gives these live streams a purpose. Beyond that, I can't complain, man. How? That one's dead. If you got me, you got me. But that one's dead, man. What are you saying? Not confident for a win, but for a draw if not. Do you know what? Yeah, the maddest thing is when you look at Liverpool, they haven't got too many draws away from home. Like, there isn't too many draws away from home. So it leads me to believe there probably might not be a draw here. I do think there is a win. Both teams, yeah, I clocked it now as well. That one was dead, man. You know, that is what it is. But moving on from that, yeah, it's hardly a draw. It's hardly gonna be a draw, man. Something just tells me it's a win stuff. Like I said, I'll take a draw without a doubt. I'll full-heartedly take a draw, but it's not gonna help either team. We know Arsenal aren't gonna get into the top 4 realistically. We know we're probably struggling for Europa. If we are to get any of that, we're going to need 3 points. The same goes for Thingy. The same goes for Liverpool. Their manager himself, Jurgen Klopp, has said, "Yo, listen, I don't think it's possible us getting top 4." Now, let's be real. real. Let's have it right. You know, what he's saying internally isn't that. You know, I assume Jurgen Klopp, after you've won a Premier League and those sort of things there, you want a thingy. You want to be in Europe. And again, they want to put respect on their name. So again, they're pushing every bit for Europe, people, and for European competition. So it's not going to be easy. You know, it's quite crazy, people. It's 9th versus 7th. You know, Liverpool are 7th place, on 46 points. We sit 9th on 42. Obviously, a win doesn't take us above them, but it moves us closer, and it puts things into perspective. It really and truly, as you can see here, the international break is done. Like with you lot, I hope you've all had a good time away from Arsenal and recharged. I hope I have as well, and I hope the players have as well, because realistically, let's be real, you know, Arsenal, I describe Arsenal as kind of semi-toxic and a bit volatile. Fans bro, what happened to this brother, man? Like, brother, are you trying to move to, man? Allow me. But anyways, moving forward, yeah, like I said, the international break, I do hope that, you know, football can be described, Arsenal at times can be described as negative and quite volatile. And I would say with every win, we're the best thing in slight spread. You know, fans will sit there and, you know, mathematically rationalize getting top 4 and sit there and act like they can go back in time and say if, but, and the other. Equally, when we lose, these players are the worst human beings on the planet. So it's nice that, especially when Aubameyang's not the best example, but Aubameyang hasn't been playing too well. You go off, you play for Gabon, you score your goals, you go for your country, you're aware of the environment, you clear your head. And for the players that didn't play international, that didn't play an international period, people, for the people that didn't play in the international break, you've actually got a chance to just, you know, work on some things that you might not have had a chance to work on from a selfish point of view. And also for Arteta and everybody involved, having tactics and things and working on stuff in the week is one thing, but as you lot know, when you're playing 3 times in 10 days, twice a week, you've always got to be training with that, with the opponent's one eye and in mind. Obviously, we know we've been working on Liverpool, so we've had 2 weeks to prepare for that, but I guess Arteta's had that opportunity to work on things tactically. And, you know, the majority of our players are not playing for, well, I say that, there is quite a few, you know. For me, Marie didn't get called up. William didn't play. Gabriel didn't play. David Luiz stayed. Saka is injured and stayed. Couple of Lacazette's never getting called up by France. So a bunch of them have had time to recharge and things. Obviously, you know, Xhaka's been playing for Switzerland. Tierney's been turned into an assist king yesterday. There's been a lot of minutes in the legs of both teams. And obviously for Arsenal, since we've returned now, Smith-Rowe's got a knock, which we'll get onto. But again, until the game comes and goes, I won't know what sort of factor the international period has had on the boys. But for me, you know, I hope it's giving them a rest period, and I hope they've recharged and they're ready for this fight. Because again, you know, the first thing I've got to say is learn your mistakes from last game. I say this every game we play, learn your mistakes, because what better to learn from than your own mistakes? We look at it, that summed up where we were. You know, we failed to hold on to a lead. We held the lead for a couple of seconds, a couple of minutes. We conceded 2 other cheap goals. We barely shot, really and truly. We was very negative. We was very defeated. We was very defeative. You know, these are things to ask questions of them. Of course, Liverpool, like I said, do not ever write off Liverpool, innit? As Arsenal fans, you're probably not expecting the Liverpool that's been losing 7-2 to Aston Villa and things like that. But listen, I don't want us to see us over-respect Liverpool. What I mean by that is, of course, you know, Robertson, Trent, Mane, Firmino, Jota, there's bare players that are good players, you know, respect them. They can cut you open. They did go into the international period with a victory, with Jota's goal, giving them a 1-0 lead against Wolves. You know, we let Jota score his debut goal for Liverpool. Let's not let lightning strike twice. So again, learn your mistakes, people. Again, Liverpool are a great team. We know at times they've dibbled in other formations, but typically a 4-3-3. We know what to expect. We know it's a tough game. We know what Mane's on against us. We know what Firmino and Salah, we know what to expect. This isn't rocket science, people. Going back at last game, I was upset because we had 4 shots, 3 on target. It's not good enough. You don't shoot, you don't score. And we did go there with a 3-4-3. It was dead. We only scored because of their stupid mistake. But I'm going to get onto it. That mistake kind of helped us, really and truly. And for me, it's another game. Mentally, you need to be switched on. I don't want to talk about we could have played like against Wolves until the red card was good for 20, or against Spurs, we was this and that. Play well for the whole 90. Listen, Liverpool is a good game. You got to win your first 20, win that first 20. two 10-minute halves of sorts. You know, win that last 25 of the first half. The last 10 minutes are going to be crucial, especially when fatigue starts settling in. Know exactly what you're going into. You're prepared for war right now, or you should be. Like it says here, for me anyways, people, play the occasion. Don't play the team. If you sit there and you respect them and you say beyond the healthy respect I've preached, if you sit there and you respect Liverpool and stuff like that, you're not going to get a result. Play the occasion. Don't sit there and think they're Premier League winners, this, that, and the other. At this, like I said, do not get complacent about their form, but do not over-respect this Liverpool team. They can be got at. You know, they've got a whole heap of injuries. You know, injuries is one thing. Partnerships is another. I don't know what partnership at centre-half they're going to go with. Exploit that. Even Alisson, he's a quality keeper. Go and ask questions, sort of thing. You know, go and ask questions of them. Robertson and Trent have been a bit shaky. Mane's been a bit shaky. Go and ask questions. Go and spread some uncertainty if you can. I went back and I watched the last game, people, and the goal we scored, again, I'm going to get onto it here, people, but we know Liverpool play a high line, and this is why bravery is needed, people. Bravery is crucial. We need bravery. They play a high line. They've got injuries in that high line. Klopp has shown he's not trying to change it. Go out and exploit that. Simple as that. Like we did when we pressed them at the Emirates. You know, our goals came from mistakes, really and truly. And stuff. But relation to the game at Anfield earlier this season, if you remember, the goal we scored was terrible, but it came from hitting them on the break and exploiting that high line. Of course, Robertson doing foolishness helps us, but primarily we broke quickly. Xhaka fed it to Lacazette, who gave it to Maitland-Niles, and the rest was history. You look at when it was 1-1, we did not follow Firmino in the build-up play. Players did not look over their shoulder. Mane was not picked up, and on top of that, you had a flap from Leno. You could focus on Leno's mistake, and I'm not saying to not do that, but typically with Arsenal, it might be one person's mistake, but it's a culmination of errors, or it's a goal we've conceded where it's sequences where it could have been stopped, you know. And then you look at 2-1 between Bellerin and Willian. They didn't track Robertson's run, and they allowed Robertson to go from a 0 for making a mistake to a hero. And within that period, people, I've tried to do the traffic light system. We held on to that lead for about 5 minutes, and we messed it up about after 7. 3-1 was just terrible, innit? It was poor. It was a poor sequence. Ultimately, a terrible attempted header from Luiz, and Jota did the rest. So this is, you know, learn your mistakes from last time. You had the international period. I hope all of you watched that game, because again, Liverpool are a good side that can hit you and smack you up if you're not prepared. But at the same time, you know, Liverpool have won games, you know, and it's been harder work. Make it hard work. Don't sit there and respect them. Don't let this be the game where, you know, there's talk of Mane and Firmino's form, where they get into decent form. You know, we're the home team. Not that it means much because there's no fans, but like I said, again, to reiterate, play the occasion. And for me, can we take advantage of a side that is in poor form, that has changes in defenses? Can we play well for 90 minutes? Because again, across these games, yeah, you know, did I ever think Arsenal could sit there and say, within these 4 games I believe I've got here, you know, you're undefeated? But the Chelsea game was fantastic. Was we quality for the whole 90? Probably not. We got away with a penalty and we conceded a dumb goal. Spurs, we beat them, but we actually conceded the first goal. Leicester, we reacted, but we conceded the first goal. West Ham, we was terrible for a first half, and then we got something out of it. You have to play well for 90 minutes, and until these players understand that, we're only going to go so far, not bits and pieces. Do you get it? So yeah, obviously, like I said, people, Liverpool have a bag of pressure on them. There's question marks over Alisson. There's question marks over Trent, who's lost his place in the England team. Even Robertson, you know, I don't know who they're going to play in defence, but whether that's Kabak, Phillips, Williams, Davis, there's question marks over all of them. And of course, obviously, you could go with Fabinho. I'd go with Fabinho in midfield if I was Liverpool personally. And for me, can you do it against them? You know, Klopp has seen his team lose twice recently against us. Obviously, they beat us at Anfield, but we've got 2 wins of recent. I'm sure he's not going to be happy. I'm sure he wants his players to lay down a marker. I'm sure he just simply wants the poor form to stop, people. Simple as that. Question marks even over Jurgen Klopp. So again, can we use that to our advantage, people? These are all things, and as you lot know, beyond the tactical stuff, this is a game for this upstairs. If you ain't got that in check, you can forget about it. And he said, if you can be difficult to break that, like I said, people, if you can be difficult to break, as I've got here, if you can be difficult to break down, half the job against Liverpool is done. Because I think Liverpool, again, against Arsenal, all of this changes, but I think Liverpool have shown people have found them out a bit, they're still playing football. I do think it looks a bit stale. I do think it's lacking ideas, but they knock it from side to side, but they don't quite cut teams down, break them down. So if we go, I don't want to go there with a low block, but if you mark the space well, if you're difficult to break down, you'll frustrate them. Half the job has been done. Suddenly, if you keep the space, it doesn't matter how much their fullbacks stretch the pitch, sort of thing. And again, we know what to expect. We know Firmino's got Arsenal's number in the best of days, but we know he's going to drop into that false nine role, which is why it gets me thinking, can we do that? It's meant to say same. Can we do the same for Lacazette? I think it's a game for Lacazette, but I'm going to get on that. Like I said, half the job can be done if you make yourself difficult to break down. You frustrate them. You give them no space to run in behind. Look at the Chelsea game. They only had one effort on target beyond the obvious, people. When you look at the team news, allegedly Firmino and all of them, beyond the obvious, there's no question marks over Liverpool's players beyond the long-term absentees. I'm going to see what Arteta said, but Smith-Rowe and Saka. Saka had a knock before the international break. Smith-Rowe's picked one up recently, which is poor for us. Kind of capitalizing on what I'm saying, people. When you look at Liverpool's last 15 games, they've got 4 wins. Their last 8 Premier League games, people, they got 2 wins against Sheffield United and Wolves. They've lost to Leicester. They've lost to City 3-3 and 4-1 respectively. A 2-0 to Everton, a 1-0 to Chelsea. They've lost to Brighton and Fulham, which I'm sure they're not happy with. As you lot can see, there's very rare amount of draws here. It's either a win or lose. A point helps neither team, as I've said. I'll take a point. You'd have to go back to January, the last time Liverpool drew, which was 0-0 against Manchester United. And considering Liverpool's lack of clean sheets and injuries, considering historically how we've been, one does believe there's goals in this game and, there's going to be a winner in this game. Like I said, I want to play well for the full 90, but the first 20 and the last 20 are crucial. The only criticisms you can have about Liverpool, and I've said it for years and it's shown now, is the lack of quality depth. Suddenly you get a couple of injuries. You've got to remember, they've still got 48 goals. They've still scored a lot of Premier League goals. You can say that it's Salah, it's this, it's that, and the other. We've got to stand up to be counted. Liverpool are trying to get their season back on track, and they went into the international break on a high, beating Wolves. And I'm sure when they've got into Melwood, Klopp has preached, we need to get top 4. Their season's been a myth. Top 4 will be tough, but I don't think Jurgen Klopp is going to thingy this. He's going to write it off. I don't want Jota to score. You let my man kick off his Liverpool career in terms of goals. Don't let him score Saturday. Again, by their own previous standards, I think they're quite stagnant. They're predictable. They're stale. They're lacking ideas. It doesn't appear that there's solutions either with the manager at this moment in time or with the players without actually changing something. As I said, people, can you, again, I don't know why it says their line. There's issues with their high line that's meant to say as well, people. So again, there's reasons to get at Liverpool. This is why I'm saying we need to play the occasion. Don't sit there and respect this team. Form or not, they have got 48 goals this season, regardless. So you do have to respect them, man. Again, I'm going to speak about this, but that gap between Alisson and their defense could be done. Again, you have seen them primarily play 4-3-3 off the ball at times this season. I've actually seen it look like a 4-2-4. I think at a period earlier in the season, this breeded mixed results, but Klopp did try to do a 4-3-1-2 sort of thing. You're looking at their away record, courtesy of Transfer Mark, home and away, just focusing on the way for a sec. 14 matches, 6 wins, 5 draws, and 3 losses, people. So again, read into that what you will. This is the same. I don't know why I've copied and pasted the same things, but and as well, people, as you lot know, runners off the ball crucial. Their fullbacks are where the creativity comes with. I know they've got Curtis Jones, I know they've got Thiago, but the fullbacks is where the goals and assists, the assists are coming from. It's a very fullback reliant system, and beyond the obvious, is there any coincidence? Trent is kind of struggling this season. Robertson is struggling this season. Ergo, Liverpool are struggling this season. Indirectly, Mane and Firmino are, and Salah is still scoring, but you could say he's struggling, and that front three is still struggling, really and truly. My only question mark would be the lineup, then, people, because when I think of Liverpool, in fact, before the lineup, excuse my manners, I was talking about their high line. Now, with Liverpool, again, you lot all remember that game at Anfield. I'm not going to bore you lot, people, but you lot remember, if you can imagine that these are 11 players, they had us in our own half for the majority, and it was just crosses galore. We know Robertson is central because, again, just to highlight that third goal, because he's a fullback, people, he wasn't picked up. He's ran off the ball. Willian and Bellerin, neither one picked him up. So the fullbacks are crucial, but that's actually not what I'm trying to show you. Why I want to exploit this high line is because sometimes they've been caught in high spaces. If Trent goes and Robertson goes And, you know, fair enough, you might have a Fabinho sitting or something like that, but let's exaggerate a bit. In fact, let's remove him. You've got their centre halves. Naturally, you're going to play a high line because Liverpool want to be in the other team. They want to score goals. They want to do the rest. There's going to be a high line. The problem is with their high line, people, is, you know, when you've got a couple of injuries and you've got new players and you've got all of these sort of things, apologies for the misspelling, it's going to be issues, people. So let's just say Kabak. How do you spell Kabak? And who is their other centre half, man? Bro, this is a madness. It could be anyone. I hope it's this Phillips brother, but let's just say Phillips, people. Really, I think it was Kabach against Leicester. I highlighted it again. Communication is key. He's new to the league. He's new to the language. He's a young man. He's learning with his teammates. Can we exploit this? Because again, if they pour forward, that's fantastic. You know, Trent and Robertson, like I said, no, stop them from crossing it, people. But suddenly, if they get caught high up the field and like against, not the same, but we're able to counter attack people. You know, and Leno's got that ball, for example, and we've gone with our front three. 1 second, people. We've gone with our front three. There's opportunities there. Let's just say ball into Xhaka, similar to what actually happened at Anfield. Ball into Xhaka. Xhaka plays it quickly to this left flank, and this man plays it in behind. You know, now again, we've seen Liverpool lack communication. If that ball is fizzed in behind, it's down to these centre halves to speak, as my man's going to get onto it. But they've got a decision to make. Is Alisson going to come out? You know, like we've seen, sometimes Alisson will come out, he could be in the wrong, Kabach hasn't got slow. Can we, you know, this area, this high line, if you put it in this area, give a decision to make. If Alisson comes running out, he's got to get that ball. If Kabach is there, he's got to get it. If Phillips is there, he's the same. That high line is where we're going to win this game. That high line, that high line, especially because they're going to want their centre halves on the ball. Maybe he won't do that. I think he'll go with Fabinho at centre half because he's just simply better than them. But again, that high line that's an area we need to exploit, people, for me. So that front three is crucial. Part of me wants to play Aubameyang on the left. Part of me says he shouldn't play. So again, it's a bit of a difficult one. When we look into the lineup, for me personally, people, I can't speak for anybody else. Why is it doing that? I'd appreciate if you stopped doing that, Google, because it's quite annoying. Thank you. Obviously, what the fuck? Anyways, people, Leno in goal. I'm going with Cedric, David Luiz, Gabriel, and Kieran Tierney as my back five. 4 defenders, 1 goalkeeper. Midfield, central midfield, Xhaka and Partey. Again, Xhaka, one has to wonder about his fitness levels before the international break, during it, and definitely after it. Partey, you know what you need to do for me. Odegaard picks himself. A front three. And again, you know, for me, Lacazette needs to play because I think it's a game for him. I'm going to want him to press their centre half. So I want to take advantage of that high line. And I think Lacazette has been involved in that many times for Arsenal and against Liverpool. He missed a big chance. You know, it shows how much Lacazette has progressed this year. You know, he's a different man compared to where he was when he was playing Liverpool at Anfield, where he missed that easy chance where, again, Alisson come rushing off his line. I think it's a game for Lacazette. The pressing, the hold-up play, the dropping into that midfield role. Because again, if we do what we did last time and we allow Liverpool in possession, we need to make it congested. And I want Lacazette for that. And I think Lacazette is the man for this. I don't understand why Pepe has been on the bench. Pepe plays for me. Saka will go on to the... Well, I don't mind Pepe on the right or Saka on the left, but I think Saka on the left will do something in this game against Trent, in my opinion. But you could swap Pepe over there. I would go with Pepe, Lacazette, and Saka, purely because Smith-Rowe. Again, I would actually try to start Smith-Rowe left wing. You know, there's a bit of talk from bit of me wants to play Smith-Rowe left wing because of the pressing he gives us, because of he comes off that flank. But again, if Saka and Smith-Rowe are kind of iffy in relation to their fitness, you don't want to play 2 of them. Part of me wants to go with something Klopp might not think in that Martinelli starting. So can we go with that? There's logic to start Aubameyang. Form-wise, I don't think he should, but if he scores, he's a hero. And for me, of course, you go with Saka, which probably means it's going to be Lacazette, Willian, and probably Smith-Rowe as our options there, really, by Arteta's thinking. So yeah, that would be my front three, people. Saka if fit as well. That would be me. I do think Smith-Rowe's got to be in there. I do want to try something random. If Aubameyang was to play, he could make himself a hero. And like I said, Martinelli's got that element of the unknown, people. So I'm keen to see. But if we check our manager, what our managers had to say, he actually has said that Saka's been doing rehab, but he hasn't trained, and you can still play without training. But is that the wisest thing to do, people? When asked on Bukayo, he said Bukayo hasn't trained with the team yet. He's been doing some individual work. We had to pull him out of the England squad. Unfortunately, he's feeling better, but he hasn't trained with the team yet. In relation to Emil, he said Emil has some discomfort in his hip, and that's why they decided to keep him out. We'll see today, which is today, how he comes here. We'll speak with the doctors and the physios and see if he's available for training tomorrow. So at best, he'll be involved in training on Friday and then play on Saturday. So again, you've got Saka who's doing individual work and hasn't trained. Pardon me, Emil with a bit of discomfort. If fit, I think one of them, if not both, should probably be on the bench. Saka starts for me, as should Smith-Rowe, but it's a fitness thing, as you could see. Sorry, you don't want it to be a thing with that. Don't really care what Arteta has said in relation to Aguero, farewell Sergio, but it's irrelevant. On Liverpool, Odegaard, and whatever they've said there, on the situation of the squad after the international break, he said, there's still a lot that I haven't seen yet. We'll see them this afternoon and assess the squad tomorrow, see how everybody's feeling and make some decisions. But so far, no big news. So there's no fresh concerns. There's no big injuries. But as you lot know, Aubameyang, Pepe, Partey, Smith-Rowe, Xhaka, quite a few, Cedric even, and Cedric got an assist this international week. Tierney, couple man have been on international periods and things like that. We've already spoken about Saka. He was then asked on whether the break gives him a fresh chance to assess what has and hasn't gone well recently. He said, yes, obviously we analyze periods during the season, and we've done that now because we've had some time to think, to reflect, and to see a lot of things that we are doing as well, and look at the direction we want to take the team in the future. Of course, please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. On the main areas, we need to rectify at the back to improve. He said one of them is related to the attention and focus that you need during the game. For example, the way we conceded the second goal against West Ham, where we turned our backs on our free kick close to our box. Again, like he said, that's something we cannot do. But them things there worry me because, yes, Arteta has to coach them. But I'm sorry, like, listen, I find it very hard to sit there, and as much as I criticize Arteta, for him to have to sit there and say that in this press conference and try and preach to the players why they shouldn't turn their back, especially when, Tierney, I love Tierney, but Tierney, David Luiz, guys that have been around the block were doing that. It's not making sense, really. And that sums up our whole team. We've got an inability to focus as a whole club. And if we was talking about Smith-Rowe, Saka, Nelson, and these young players, fair enough. But these are guys that have been around the block. You lot are big enough, old enough, and ugly enough to arrest these mistakes. When I'm talking about playing out from the back and movement and all of these things, that's for Arteta. But Arteta shouldn't tell you why after going to go down, you shouldn't turn your back on it. And he's also said, people, then there's also the other face that we really like, the way the team played and reacted. You said reacted, and I'll change that word to reactive. I'm not criticizing it, but we're not proactive. If you're proactive, you don't concede them goals against West Ham. If you're proactive, you kill the game against Wolves before it gets to that red card incident. I find it very hard to sit here and say, depending on what fan you speak of, I find it very hard to sit here and say, I find it very hard to sit here and say, this and this and that and the other. It's not really making sense, really. You don't concede these goals like, we look so good in the first 20 against Wolves or this and that. Like, we need to play well for the whole 90, and we're freestyling games at this moment. And depending on what fan you speak to, they're either too excited on some hippie crap or they're extremely negative. There's no balance, much like our performances. Even when we've won Chelsea, Spurs, Leicester, these games have not been 100% 90 minutes good, and that's where we need to be able to differentiate. By Arsenal's own previous poor standards, there's been an upgrade. However, it's not levels. That's just my opinion anyways. On not being able to take the same risks against a potent team like Liverpool, form or not, some of the mistakes you've been doing in recent weeks, you do that against Liverpool, you're out. He said, against these teams, with the quality they have, they're going to punish you for every error that you do. Even when you don't make errors and you do everything perfectly, they're still able to break your lines, to create an individual action and to score a goal. Obviously, it's a team where nothing has to be given to them. And that's true. We know what to expect. We know the movement from from Mane, Salah and Firmino is elite. We know Firmino's going to drop. We know Salah is going to occupy that inverted half space on the right-hand side. We know we need to double up. We know you have a low block against Liverpool or get men behind the ball, you have half a chance. You stop their fullbacks, you have half a chance. We know this. Will they? And again, Arteta can only give them so much. They need to go out and be able to have the mental capacity to implement whatever game plan it is and just switch on people. Apologies, people. Smoothie time. But as you lot can see, people, and whether he takes anything from the fact that we are close to Liverpool, I'm not even going to read the rest, but I prefer to look at ourselves, bro. Where Liverpool are is irrelevant to us. We're at ninth because of ourselves, because of peeing about in games, you know. Of course, it makes us feel a little bit better that the Premier League champions are right next to us. But come on now, neither team is happy being there. And you can imagine, I expect Liverpool to probably move up a tiny bit, but who knows, people? Obviously, we've got Europa League to come. Again, he's spoken about Liverpool's struggles and he's spoken about Aguero. Again, I'm not going to bore you lot with this. I do think there's a lot of irrelevant things there. On if beating Liverpool is the ideal way to regain confidence. The confidence should be there. Regardless of what team you played from August, the confidence should be there. You know, if you lose a game, have the confidence that you can get back on track. If you win a game, have the confidence, you know, to say that we can improve, that this isn't a bare minimum thing. And that's the thing. We're too volatile. We live week to week, game by game. And that's why whenever we lose, there's complete blackout media sort of silence from our football club. When we win, everybody's proclaiming that we're backward, this and the other, where the truth is in the middle. And of course, it would be good to get confidence to beat Liverpool, of course. But we sat there and we said that against Chelsea, against Spurs, against Leicester. You know, we've been down this route. If you need one game to give you confidence, then I don't think you lot are cut up to task personally. He is right, though. It does get morale right. It does breed some confidence. It does begin to help with momentum. The more games that we win, the team is obviously going to be in a better state for other competitions where obviously we need to win Europa League because we've got no other chance. On if winning the Europa League is the best way of getting into the champs, he said that's the other way. We don't know what the first way will be. It will depend on our results and our performances, and we need to go game by game and try to maximize every chance that we have in each of those games. Please make sure you're getting up the like button. There's 162 of you, but there's only 100 likes. So as you lot can see it from here, people, you know, it is what it is. He's spoken about Eddie Nketiah and his under-21s championship. He's spoken very vague against that. And we'll see. He said on whether he will play our own way against Liverpool this time around. He said, I think the game dictates that. I think sometimes you have to adapt to the opponent because they are just better than you. And sometimes you have to make the opponent adapt. We'll see. Bro, don't let Liverpool sit here and have the lion's share of possession. Go and give them a culture shock. We'll see, depending on what they're able to do and what we're able to do. Obviously, the intention and the game we want to propose is different to the one that we played last year. When you play against top quality sides, sometimes you have to be able to adapt your game to get results that you need. And that's fully facts. But Liverpool concede a lot of goals like us. Their team, like us, doesn't play well based on this season for a full 90 minutes. Go and ask questions. If you sit there and you be reactive, they're going to put problems against you, people. So, yeah, man. What else did he speak about? He spoke about some indirect stuff, but again, and some of that ain't. We'll get into that, but I think that can be the closing sort of thing for this part of the preview because that's not relevant, people, really and truly. What are you lot saying? Please make sure you're hitting the like button. I realize I haven't been taking you lot in as much. I apologize for that. What are you lot saying? Live from Planet X is saying we can play well for 80, and it doesn't matter if we drop for 10 and concede. Yeah, you know, it doesn't. It doesn't. People can say we played the best football in the season, arguably against Wolves. It doesn't matter because he didn't get no points. You know, it doesn't matter. Emma said, well, all those people who said don't get another 10, Emil Smith-Rowe can handle it all. Again, fail to understand that it's a squad. They fail to understand that it's a squad option, in my opinion. Rest Saka, there's no point taking any chances if he isn't fully fit. I do think Bellerin's getting brought into this team, man. Jason is saying Arsenal's biggest problem is that they're always pressing the self-destruct button and always lack concentration and give away cheap goals. There you have it. We look stronger in bigger games. We're just our own worst enemy. And for me, again, I hear you, and I'm not saying you're saying that, Sandro, but for me, it starts to get annoying talking about that because, again, you know, if you know, the hardest things to do is change yourself and your habits, in it. Like, I know some of you are probably smokers, some of you probably eat excessively, some of you were creatures of habit, in it, in life. As humans, we're creatures of habit. In football, that's only seen even more. We're creatures of habit. I'm sure these players are sitting there and saying, let's stop making these mistakes. I'm sure they're looking at it from a tactical point of view. But for one reason or another, we're reverting back to type and we keep making those mistakes. So if these players can't fix it, Arteta can't fix it, something needs to be done in that regard. I don't know with that, though. I just think we look the same in all games. I think we wing it, you know. I just think we wing it. It's that historic what Arsenal turns up, really and truly. And what I don't want to see is that, man. It probably will be one of those games where we're dominating, we're playing well, but fundamentally something happens. And what I'm scared of is the counter attack as well from Liverpool, because they can cut you open in a second. I'm scared of the counter attack. I'm scared of the off the ball runners from Liverpool, because we historically we don't pick up runners in Mane. We're unaware of Firmino. Salah is given too much freedom. The actual midfield runners, like I've seen Milner do it, Wijnaldum can do it. All of these sort of guys. I'm keen to see what he does in midfield, because is he going to go with Wijnaldum, Milner, and Fabinho? I doubt much. Is he going to go with Fabinho at centre half? I don't know what he's going to do. But for me, I'd be very disappointed to have a Liverpool team, definitely in the last few years, that has been this shot down in confidence because of how they're playing and the injury concerns. And you're not having a go at them. Like, if I see 2 shots on target, and if we're not clinical, I'm gonna have a serious issue. I don't want Alisson to get Alisson's probably one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League, but there's probably the most question marks ever. Go and for once, go and use this to your advantage. And for all we talk about tactics and all these things, if these players can't get themselves in it mentally after having 2 weeks, it's crazy, man. How many points do you think we'll take out of 9 games? What do you consider good points? I don't know, man. I can't predict the future, my guy. I don't know what we're going to do, Is it I've seen Arsenal beat Leicester, Spurs, and whatnot. I've seen us come from 3-0 down against West Ham. I've seen, it all depends, I don't know. Arsenal's a very volatile team, so I don't know. Let's just take games on a game-by-game basis. But just to humor you, we've got Liverpool, Sheffield away after that. Fulham, Everton, Newcastle away, West Brom, Brighton, Chelsea away, Palace away. Good points. A point against Liverpool, while I won't be happy, let's be real, it is a good point. A point against Chelsea would be a good point as well. But again, I don't know, man. I expect to beat Sheffield United. Expect is a big thing, but let's just say we beat Sheffield, that's 3 points. Beat Fulham, that's 6. I think we'll beat Newcastle, that's 9. I think we'll beat West Brom, that's 12. I can't predict the Evertons. Fulham's going to be difficult. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think good points would be Chelsea and Liverpool. I'm not sure, my guy, man. I've got no confidence really in the team beyond the game-by-game basis. So I apologize for that, man. What have you said? Giving Lacazette a new deal wouldn't be the worst decision. We could give up the chance to concentrate on other areas. Or you could just let him run down that deal and then maybe look to thingy that. I don't know, man. I don't know. We need to grow a pair. Don't feel Lacquer is the hardest to replace. What's all the Lacquer talk you lot are coming out of? I think Arteta said something. He must have said something. Morning to all of you lot as well. I missed a lot of you lot's morning messages. What is he saying in relation to this, man? And this is why I don't have Lewis, with all due respect, not to be a negative guy, but this is why personally I don't have too much hope, because some of these players have been involved in negative results and negativity far too often. And for me, it's got to the point where I start looking at you as a man. Like, forget the club, forget the fans, forget the manager, forget even your family members. Like, you look like you're not trying to pattern this up. I'm not trying to be negative, but you look like you're down for this. Like, you don't want to change this because you've been part of these results. So if you're not playing for yourself, I can't expect him to play for me or you. So again, if everyone had a lot of accountability in themselves, it'd be all right, man. For what I want to see against Liverpool, just turning up. It's true what they say, turning up is half the battle. If you turn up and you're mentally prepared, and fullbacks are saying, cool, I'm winning my individual battles. Centre halves are saying, I'm gonna be switched on today. Midfielders are saying no mistakes. Strikers want to make the difference. If everybody's got individual accountability, then the collective will take care of itself. I've got no problem with losing. Nobody likes to lose a game of football, but provided my boys or the team I support, we've done everything we could and we lost to the better team, what can you say? Hold our hands up, we go back to the drawing board and we look at the fine margins. Apart from that, typically it's cheap goals, lack of concentration, and everything you guys are saying, and that is us at this moment in time. So I'm at the point now, and I've said it numerous times this season, I'm at the point where Arsenal need to show me they can beat Liverpool. I can sit here and you lot can sit here and say we're going to win, lose, or draw, but you need to show me in the first 10 minutes that you're on something. I don't know. I really don't know. We're going to win. Either we win or it ends in a draw. I hope so, man. Arsenal's problem is we don't have a settled back four. Yeah and no. Yeah and no. I just think we don't know how to defend, really and truly. That's just me, anyways. Bro, we can win, hopefully. Turning up is half the battle, as I said, man. What has Dia said? Dia said this game is going to be weird. This is the perfect time to play Liverpool because Kabak and Phillips in defence. But this is it, yeah. You got to test them. You know, Lacazette, Aubameyang, Martinelli, Saka, Pepe, Willian. I'm probably missing Pepe if I ain't said him. Somebody's name is being missed out. Go and ask questions, especially who's playing through that striking role. Say, yeah, Kabak, yeah. You think you're getting a permanent deal at Liverpool? Say nothing. Phillips, you're a good guy. Klopp is going to rub you out after this. Go and ask questions, you know. Again, it's not relevant, but there's been injury issues over that whole defense all season. I'm sure there's question marks over Phillips and Kabach's ability. They've been linked with Canute now. Canute can't be signed and played this season, but that adds to the mix. You get it? So if we put some pressure on them, you know, belief is everything. You know, I genuinely want to see that we believe we can beat Liverpool because I genuinely feel we're going to go into it and behave like Liverpool is the team they were last season, which don't get twisted, in many elements they are. But we need to try and take advantage of them, people, in a way. Sandra said, how's the man then feeling about Chambers at right back versus Mane and Robertson? Nah, you know, Chambers has taken his chances when give it to him, but I'd rather throw a Cedric in there. You know, I don't have trust in Bellerin. If he plays, he'll have my respect. I don't think much of Cedric. I feel Arsenal fans overrate him, but he just tries to play like a right back, and that's the most I can take for this season. I'd rather Cedric because he's a bit more athletic. You know, Chambers will give as good as he gets, and he'll try a thing, but you know, we all remember what I'm sure Mane did to him when he was at Southampton, and I don't want that sort of game there, man. I'm not really on it personally. Especially if there's 2v1s and stuff like that. Big up the thingy, big up the Twitch gang as well. I appreciate you for your super chat, my guy. If that is a super chat. Yeah, I just wish you had something to say with it, but it is what it is. Opinions on signing Aguero. Of course, I would take Sergio Aguero, but I'm not being funny to you. Sergio Aguero has to be smoking something special if you're going to become a Manchester City legend, play here for a significant period of time, and at 32 years of age, sign for Arsenal in a rebuilding job. Go and play for Barcelona. Go and do something else that your career deserves, man. I would love Aguero, but waste of time, man. Waste of time to play them, man. Ober on the bench. Do you know what, with the Ober on the bench thing? A part of me feels if he plays left wing, he might do a thing. A part of me wants to play him through the middle because of that high line. But I just feel this is a game for Lacazette. The left wing is the one that's open for me. Pepe probably isn't going to play, but I would play Pepe. I would play Lacazette. If Saka's fit, Saka plays and he completes that front three for me. Arguably, Smith-Rowe, if he's fit, he plays as well. But Smith-Rowe and Saka, if they've both got knocks, I don't want to play both of them. Do you get it? Kind of one or the other from the start sort of thing. And then a part of me wants to play Martinelli because it's the element of the unknown. I know Klopp knows all about him and he was waxing lyrical about Martinelli, but you know, they're probably accounting for playing against Saka. They're probably accounting for Aubameyang. Remember in the Community Shield, you know, if Aubameyang plays left wing, Nico Williams or Trent, they're probably going to be briefed on that, people. You know, they know what Pepe's on, but again, and not that they don't know what Martinelli's on, but that element of surprise, again, maybe it might even be Willian on the left, you know, sort of thing. And again, we've got the Europa League and there's been games playing thick and fast. Maybe there's some changes. I don't know, man. I really don't know. So that's that, man. Whatever you said, Bao. You said in the press conference, Arteta said that teams like Roma and Seville being interested in Lacazette shows how well he's playing and he's happy with his work rate and how he's helping the team recently. Facts, man. What could you say, bro? Like, as a manager, obviously, let's talk about Lacazette quick. As a manager, you never want your players linked with clubs. Obviously, they can become disillusioned and things like that. But at the same time, surely it's a compliment that teams want your player. And and like I said, this Liverpool game kind of shows the progress Lacazette's made. Lacazette was a shadow of his former. He scored in that game, but it was a shadow of his former self going back to that game at Anfield. Look at the chance he missed. He ain't missing that again, Lacazette. Let me touch wood because you might make me look silly, but he ain't missing that if he gets that at the Emirates, you know. And it's right. And again, I think it's pretty damning that, you know, Arteta has said, yo, I like in Lacazette and things, but today he's come out and allegedly said, yeah, we'll chat at the end of the season. He weren't saying that with Saka. He weren't saying that with Aubameyang when it was there. That tells you everything. That tells you he likes Lacazette, but we don't quite know what we're doing. Maybe if he continues this form, it's a thing. I've also seen allegedly El Nene's agent as well, people speaking and whatnot. I'm gonna, if someone can rise up a report, rise it up, or I'm just gonna type in El Nene and see what happens. Please make sure you're all hitting that like button, people. Please make sure you're all hitting that like button. You know. Oh, that's a shame. Try to get a collab for you guys, people, and it's not gonna happen, is it? That's a damn shame, man. That's a damn shame. But yeah, man, let's see what El Nene's agent has said. Before that, 45 minutes. Sorry, people. Been a bit all over the place today, but let's see what El Nene's agent has allegedly said. Big up my guy Tom, you know. I did make sure you check out my show on my channel that I had with him yesterday. Obviously, go support the Gooner Talk TV. Make sure you've subscribed and them things there. Big up Tom, you know, 101 great goals. Big writer and them thing there. But as he said, Mohamed El Nene's agent reveals Egyptian set for new Arsenal contract. Apparently, he's had foreign offers, allegedly. So again, for me, I'm not gonna lie to you. Lot. Big up yourself, Chat FM as well. I'm good. I hope you're good as well. For me personally, I think a club that is serious would use El Nene somewhat decent form or whatever to put him in the shop window to a degree that could be said for Lacazette as well. Maybe even Chambers, again, away from the homegrown aspect, because it does feel like Arsenal are in this, we're always doing this half-half thing in that El Nene, for instance, he's here by accident. We tried to sell him. He went on loan. They didn't want to keep him permanently. He's here. But then now there's talk of a new deal. You know, Lacazette, every good performance and bad performance is volatile. You know, Maitland-Niles is not here, but the same. Chambers the same. It does feel like we need to double down on a decision. You know, on a lot of players, not just the names I've said. It feels like we need to double down. You know, in the future, it might prove the right decision to sell El Nene. It might prove the wrong one. And the same goes for Chambers, Maitland-Niles, and anyone else's whose future is volatile. But it just feels like come the summer, we need to make a decision and really back it. So like in the future, if Maitland-Niles becomes a player, it is what it is. We said, cool, we're selling him now. We're not doing this. Okay, cool, you're staying now. 6 months, you're going on loan again. We need to make decisions. And I think El Nene needs to hit the door. Listen, I've got admiration for El Nene. He loves playing for the club. He plays with his heart. He only speaks well. You don't hear him being disruptive. He's clearly loved by the teammates. You know, I think he's an okay squad player. The problem is, you know, and that's good, you know, it's good. But the problem is, while it is a workplace, we're not a play crash in it. It fundamentally comes down to, are you good enough to help us move forward? And I think beyond being a squad player, and even that's punching, I think Xhaka should be the squad player with El Nene in that role. I don't think it's a thing. And a new contract, it's not helping us. I know he wants to play at Arsenal and he's loving it, but away from emotion, it's probably not the best decision. He went to say leaving to the Turkish league is among the rumours surrounding Mohamed. The player has a season left on his contract, and we are currently working on renewing the contract. The player's ambitions are to continue with Arsenal after earning the confidence of his coach. This is his first choice. There are several offers for Mohamed in the coming period. Things will be decided whether to accept one of those offers or to continue line up at Arsenal. So this doesn't actually say he's been given a new deal so far by Arsenal. This just says we're evaluating our options. And I think, El Nene, you've got to move, because for us, beyond the squad player, you're not going to be there, really and truly. You're not the partner for Partey. Yes, I know he was playing well and things, but it's not a thing like that. Apparently, he went to say, El Nene will renew his deal with Arsenal. He won't leave for Gala. He won't leave for Galatasaray or Turkey. El Nene has never thought about leaving. He's happy with Arsenal and Arteta trusts him. You know, personally, I remember when El Nene signed that contract extension when Giroud and Coquelin did. If he is to be given a new deal, then you know what, fair play if Arteta believes in you and all of those sort of things. But that's where I'm beginning to look at Arteta now with the Willian and with Xhaka. It's like these are not players you're using because you have to. You want to genuinely use them now. So again, nothing with El Nene, but the scrutiny comes on you. As much as I like El Nene, you know, he's a backwards passer. He's not really consistent. He don't really do anything outstanding. Really and truly, he's quite basic. Nothing wrong with that. But, you know, I need someone that could get a decent bit of fee with having played a decent form. Giving him a new contract doesn't send out the wrong signals, but it doesn't send out good signals as well. in my opinion. That would also tell us that what we already know already, in that, you know, Torreira and Xhaka are gone. So big up to El Nene. I mean, Arteta did quash the rumors of a new contract when he started to when he first started to play well. So we'll have to see. And this is what I mean. At centre half, you've got to decide what you're doing with Granit Xhaka because of his contract. He's got 1 year over El Nene's. You got to decide Guendouzi, El Nene, Torreira. Ceballos isn't permanently ours. Neither is Odegaard. Again, there's too much question marks over central midfield. And admittedly, next season, I'm going to be even more harsher on Arteta. And I'm going to be very harsh on this club, regardless of what happens come the end of the window. Midfield is crucial. Arteta was a midfielder. And quite frankly, I think Arteta F's around with midfield quite often. A lot, people. And I don't know why. But yeah, in relation to El Nene, that's that for that new deal, people. Really and truly. It is what it is. That's a man. Fuck that. I am not doing no club at that time. Sorry for bringing that up again. Hope you're all good as well. If only if it was that simple, if only if it was that simple, man. What as Will said, hey DG, on point, home truths hit the hardest. Perhaps that is what the players need rather than constant defense of their poor performance. And this is it. Do you know what it is, Will? I do think internally, I do think Arteta's giving it to them, like on a serious thing, but I do think these players are not honest with themselves. And I think there are a couple. I think Saka's honest with himself. I think Tierney's honest with himself. Partey's honest with himself. The real ones are honest with themselves. But it's true. And it's like, you know, again, to use Xhaka as an example, not to say it's all his fault or whatever, but whenever we win, he's out here proclaiming, puffing up his chest. Whenever we lose, it's not that he's hiding, but the energy isn't the same. It's like we're too off. We're very quick to get excited when the sun's shining. We're very quick to not say a word when we're doing poorly. And for me, I believe in fairity, as you lot know. If we played poor, deserve all the rain that comes your way. If you play good, all the sunshine that comes your way. But at the same time, we need to remember, come the next, like if we lose to Liverpool, we diagnose it. Next day, get back on the train and try and win your next game against, I think we've got Slavia and we've got Sheffield. If we win, cool, it was good to beat Liverpool, but it's irrelevant now, you know. Enjoy it for that Saturday night. Let's move, because Arsenal right now, we're on course to do what we always do every year. And I've said it in August, I'm going to say it again. We'll give you these little... We won't win a war, and the war for us will be claiming top 4, winning Europa League. Hopefully we can, because we still got a chance. These sort of things, that's winning the war for me, because they're somewhat our objectives beyond the obvious trying to get top 4. What I mean by battles is we'll beat a United, we'll beat a Liverpool, we'll beat a Spurs. You might grab a little Leicester result, you know, little bragging right thing and little good results and stuff. But in the grand scheme of things, when I'm looking back at May, it's like, oh, it's dead. I'm not going to sit in there and say, oh, at least we beat Man United away from home for the first time in a while. At least we beat this team. At least we beat Chelsea, this, that, and the other. Do you get it? It seems like that's all Arsenal's for. And I think that tells you why. That's why I don't have much faith, because for 38 games, that's the hardest, from August till May, being motivated when the cameras aren't on and every moment we struggle. When the cameras were on in the FA Cup, we did our little thing, because that was probably 5 or so games. And that's why I haven't got faith, man. Really. Big up, Liam. What are you saying, my guy? What are you saying? Just want to say that I'm loving your content of late, my guy. I've been doing my music thing. I've been doing my thing in music for 15 years, and flowers have come gradually. Keep on it. Go and check out Liam Bailey's stuff. Love for that super chat. Go and check out his music, man. Happy to see that your flowers have come gradually. You're doing your thing, man. Hey, Christian, shout out Macedonia. I saw that yesterday. I see Werner's miss. I felt sorry for Werner still. I feel very, very sorry for Werner. I'm not gonna lie. It's one of them. It's not even funny anymore. Like, it used to be funny poking fun at them sort of things, but it's one of them ones that I feel sorry for Werner. Like, sorry, that chance he missed is like that's one of them where you don't believe in yourself no more. And I think, and then I can't lie, you've all seen the rumors Chelsea have been linked with a swap plus money, swapping Werner, and money for Haaland. I'm sure they'll do that, man. What's Liam said? Frederick has said Arsenal is like a YouTube highlights video. Fair play. Peter has said, big up yourself. I'm desperate for Europa. Liam has said DG, there are some weaknesses with Liverpool. Trent, he can't defend. And when he does have a good defensive performance, he has a bad attacking one. So play a strong front three and attack. Liam, that's my point. You know, I do think Trent is at times he's a bit, I do think people are onto him for a bit unnecessarily generally as a neutral. But I do think defensively, off the ball, he struggles a bit. In the air, he struggles a bit. I think Robertson, you know, I think Tierney's better than Robertson, so I've got a bit of agenda, but I think Robertson gets away with a lot. I feel if we stop your fullbacks, we have half a chance. We press that defense, we have half a chance. But what lets me down is, you know, we might exploit that high line. We might give you lot problems, but we will switch off playing out from the back and gift you a goal. Or somebody at some moment is not going to be aware of Mane, Salah, Firmino, or a late midfield run, and that's it. Because I don't want to sit here and say, yeah, we went toe to toe with Liverpool. If that doesn't happen, if that moment in the 13th minute doesn't happen, the game is 0-0. You know how Arsenal fans get. They sit there and do that sort of weird stuff, you know, like you can remove minutes and moments from a game and shape the agenda. It don't work like that, really and truly. Like with some Arsenal fans sitting there and saying, oh, we're top of the table after Christmas. You know, I hear that. It can say there's some improvement and whatnot, but that's dead. You know, it's really dead, man. Calm down, my guy. Robertson is a good player. Let's be real, but it's true, man. Bro, I'm scared of Jota. We kicked off Jota's Liverpool career. We kicked it off. He got his debut goal. He scored against Wolves, so I'm sure he's trying to make up for lost time. So I'm sure he's got something to say. I can't lie. I think Robertson's a quality player. I like Robertson. I just think he's one of them that escapes a lot of criticism. Maybe not so much now, but I think for time, you know. But it is what it is, man. Man said DG sounds fed up. No, you know, of course I'm fed up, man. I'm fed up, man. Of course I'm fed up. But you know what it is for me? It's like, man, need to remove the romance of this football, of these players, bro. Like, by nature, you know, you don't get me twisted. Of course, bro, I want El Nene to sign a new deal. I'm one of them Arsenal fans myself, you know. I'm the very fan I criticize and I sit there and say, boy, we was good for 20 minutes and don't give El Nene should get a new deal. I am that fan. I'm an Arsenal man. I can't think with my brain with Arsenal. I think with my heart. So when I see El Nene playing well, I'm an Arsene Wenger baby, my guy. Of course, I'm going to fall for the romance when I see El Nene's career look like it was gone. He's come back. Lacazette doing his thing. You know, I'm one of them guys. But when I remove that, bro, football is... People always say I'm harsh. Life is harsher and so is football. We need to remove that. You know, when you try and fix up everybody's life jacket, you can't help anyone's. You know, I'm pretty sure on the aircraft, they say don't try help no one, help your own thing. And we're trying to help the Xhakas, you know, we've got the storylines of the Xhakas, the El Nenes, the Maitlands, the Joes, the Lackers, the Pepes, the Williams, the Louises, you know, there's many players regardless of ability. We need to be a bit cruel now, to be kind to ourselves. Like I said, with a lot of the decisions we have to make in the summer, they might not be the right decisions, but we need to make a decision and double down on it. If you're selling Guendouzi, sell him. You know, yeah, he might go become French international, but you're selling him. You know, if you're selling Torreira, you're selling him. If you're getting rid of Maitland, you're getting rid. If you're getting rid of Joe, Chambers, homegrown, obviously we've got to think about homegrown. You're doubling down. I don't want to see this Willie won't he halfway house thing that we keep doing. Like, we need to make some decisions and stick to them, for in my opinion anyways. But what do I know? I'm just someone here waffling on YouTube, people. You know, it is where it is in that regards. Sorry, people. Let me just timestamp. That would make a good one. We need to double down on our summer decisions. Sorry, my guy. And I don't listen. And the thing is with Arsenal as well, you know, it's Arsenal's fault why these players become scapegoats, you know. It's Arsenal's fault. Obviously, Xhaka, El Nene, all of these, Bellerin, all of these guys have had inconsistencies, but, you know, you're relying on them. You know, everybody loves Giroud now. Everybody hated him at Arsenal because you make, man, a scapegoat when you don't do the business in the windows. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And I just spilt some tea. Shout out to the eagle-eyed viewers who saw that, man. Bro, it's not this. But this is what I always say. For me, you know, if they want me to be optimistic, they have to make man optimistic. When I saw the way we started against Spurs, I didn't believe we were gonna win going into it, but the way they set it, I believed in it. You know, the way they reacted to Leicester, I believed. I'm of that. That's where I am at with as an Arsenal fan. If they want me to, they have to show me things. You know. They have to show me. I don't really think that's relevant to a degree of him knowing him since his Southampton days. Maybe Mane knows how to run the rings around him, but I hear you. For me, Cedric should play because I think he's in better form. I think he's in better. Big up Tino as well. I think he's in better form than Bellerin. You know, I think he's more of a natural choice there than Callum Chambers. And Chambers has done nothing wrong. Don't get me mistaken. So it is what it is, man. I would like to see Pepe play, my dude. You know, Jinga, big up yourself. Big up all the members. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. He said, with Saka in recovery, I think Pepe could have some joy against Robertson. We'll be interested to see which right back gets the start ahead of Chambers and Cedric. Hector needs to hold that bench. And my guy, you saying that? We both know that probably means Hector's probably going to start. And I don't think he's the best option for that, because away from the ability, I just think Bellerin is quite cowardly. I think Cedric and Chambers are braver than him, and it's a day for bravery. I kind of said that in my preview. You know, it's a day for bravery. You know, I think Bellerin can hide and play within himself. I don't have Chambers as a hider. Chambers, from what I've seen of him in an Arsenal shirt before he got injured of recent and now, he might not be the best, but he'll give it his best. And the same with Cedric. I don't want players who are going to cower and hide. I want people who want that ball in this game. I want people who want to make the difference. And I don't get that vibe with Hector Bellerin. He looks a bit nervous. And I think that's why he needs to divorce from the club, really. And obviously, if Pepe and Saka are going to play, you know, I don't want Saka receiving it or Pepe receiving it on the halfway line. I want them giving the ball in decent options. And I think Chambers even showed, just by having a fullback who wants to put the ball into the box, what can happen. If he didn't put them balls into the box, we don't get them 2 own goals or whatever against West Ham or whatever. So it is what it is in that regards, man. I wouldn't risk Saka though, man. Like Saka and Smith-Rowe. Saka's the one I would push for because he's clearly fitter than Smith-Rowe. But I would like both on the bench, one on the bench. I wouldn't start both. I would actually like to start both, had both of been fit. I think they'd be used, man, because of the way I want to play with the high line. I think they'd both be of use. I would like to see Pepe or Martinelli get starts, though, man. People that want to show something. Would I start Ceballos? Probably not. Probably not. Probably not, because he hasn't earned it. And this is the thing, JD. But if you don't play Tierney, to be fair, Tierney, what? He'd have today, Wednesday, Thursday, what? Today and tomorrow, there'll be some sort of session. You'd imagine Tierney probably does some recovery sessions and things like that. I think he'll play. And if you don't play him, what are you going to do? Who are you going to play? You know, the only thing I'm prepared to take is Saka, you know, at left back. I'm not trying to hear, listen, shout out Cedric. I'm not trying to see Cedric left back. None of them little smart sort of things. You know, you ain't got Maitland-Niles to be trying to lean up on in that. So it's a bit dead. South London, I beg you stop spamming, but let's take him what has said. Can anyone see anything on Twitter about this Odegaard stuff? Again, you know, we've got to be. I'm getting quite tired of speaking about Odegaard. I'm not going to sit here and cap, because every minute there's something. He's staying, he's going, he's staying, he's going. For me, I'm just going to enjoy the Donny at Arsenal right now. And it is what it is. It all depends what you read, because it's that. Apologies, people. I'm going to. Give me a sec, man. You lot have humored me now. Nah, man, because that's not his natural side. He's gonna keep putting it onto his right foot. I hear what you're saying, my guy. You're not wrong, but I don't think it's a game for that. Like, let's. I think it's a game. Stick to the basics. Like, just stick to the basics. If you're a right footer and you're right and you're a fullback, you play fullback. Simple as that. You lot are violating, man. You lot are violating. 135 likes. Come on, let's get that up. No, South London, no problem. It's just. I don't know if I've actually seen your message. You make me start thinking I'm bugging out. So that's why I said a lot. Yeah, shout out to Tierney for his 3 assists from centre-half yesterday. But I can't see nothing online in relation to Zidane telling him to stay, my dude. So it is what it is in that regards. It would make sense. If he is going to keep him, it would make sense. Or at least now, it's not going to help. For Real Madrid, it's not going to help. It's not going to make sense them saying they're going to sell Donny now, in it, because again, that's going to knock probably some pounds off their window. Right now, they have to keep his motivation levels on, because let's remember, the move was designed to play at Real Madrid. Who's to say Odegaard won't fall off? And again, he needs to. They're not going to tell that they're going to keep their cards quite close to their chest. So, yeah, man, I do think if they're really serious, you know, Bale, Odegaard, Ceballos, all these guys are candidates to leave, man. And again, it is April 1st. That's why I'm trying to avoid all of that stuff as well. I'm not trying to do the transfer thing right now. Big up yourself, Presley, man. I think our best chance of grabbing Odegaard is on a loan. in my opinion. But who knows, man? We need a lot more than that, man. We need a lot more. We'll lose the midfield battle, in my opinion, man. You know, I think we'll lose the midfield battle. I believe in Partey, but I just see you lot's midfielders as a bit more dynamic. Plus the Firmino factor, he's going to drop into that, and you're going to outcrowd us. That's why I don't mind that. If we're undercrowded and being compact, and for me, crucially, making sure that if Salah receives the ball, it's in front of us. If the fullbacks receive it, it's in front of us. I think that's cool, because for me, half the job is done when you do that against Liverpool and frustrate them. And this is it. He's not going to say they're going to go, man. And this is what I'm of the belief, you know. Again, that's why if we can be a bit creative and grab Odegaard on loan again, and that gives you money to get a number 8 or another number 6 or a centre half or for me right back, you know, we've got to be creative. And that's what I mean by we can only do these sort of things if we know exactly, once that window opens, exactly what we're gonna do. You know, we can't get in the summer and say, oh, what are we doing with Joe? What are we doing with Maitland? What are we doing with Torreira? What are we doing with Guendouzi? What are we doing with Lacazette? What are we doing with El Nene? Man need to know now what they're doing. Obviously, form, things change things, but we need to know what we're doing now. As I was saying, we can't, because I genuinely think we're going to get there like we did last summer and act surprised. Because I do think the gloves are going to be off for Arteta. Next season will be the first season I think he's really being judged by those, not by fans, by those above. Where if we're doing what we're doing this year, then I think he's getting clipped. Because obviously it was a free hit when he took over, and he did win the FA Cup and grabbed him a bit of balance. Obviously, we had a terrible pre-season. The business didn't get done. You saw what we did in terms of departures in January. I think next season there'll kind of be no excuse. And for me, I'd say there's no excuse on Edu, because, again, I'm quite harsh on Edu because, again, you've got rid of a bunch of scouts and said everything needs to run through me. So I need to see what everything running through you doing, innit? And I think as much as people can critique Arteta, he can't move this thing on alone. In the same way, he can't make these players believe like winners when they're conceding goals like they did the second against West Ham. You know, he needs to be helped. He's a manager. You know, sometimes if he has to be in the negotiating room and helping with contracts, then he needs to have the faith, or I need to have the faith, that Arsenal have coaching staff with Arteta so that they lead the coaching sessions and it's not dropped off. You know, if he can't be there in terms of the transfers and getting it done, I need to know Edu is able to sort out these players and able to still convince them. It's all a collaborative effort, really and truly. So we have to see, man. A Europa win should convince, bro. Yo, I hear you, but nothing ain't gonna convince them, man. They don't give a crap, man. I hear you, though. I think the only thing that's gonna save us is a miracle, bro. I genuinely, no matter how good, I am of the belief, you know, Edu could come here and be the next, is it Victor Orta, the Leeds guy, you know, Arteta can be a prime Arsene Wenger. I still don't think it's enough, because I don't think the people and the higher powers that be want to be winners, God. They can't move this thing together. I genuinely feel this is Arsenal Football Club until Kroenke goes, and that's not going to happen. Listen, I hear what people say about Josh. Josh, you can show me something, but listen, your last name goes against you. I've genuinely got no hope, no ambition, no expectations, as long as certain people own this football club, because we're a facade. You know, we're hiding behind previously what we used to do. We don't reflect Arsenal's values. You know, we still do work in the community, but we don't respect Arsenal's values. We don't do things with the touch of class. We don't play good football. The club really doesn't reflect the club I grew up supporting in any way, really, and the people around it and the language I hear. It does make you. This is why, as much as I'm an Arsenal fan, I try to be just a football purist, because I get more joy out of just talking about football, just watching football, than when I'm emotionally invested with Arsenal. And for me, it's a thing where I love this football club. You know, I'm always talking about it, but I can't change a damn thing. And you lot can't either. Maybe if we join together, we can do a mad thing, but we can't do a damn thing. So it's like, at what point does my anger become misplaced and I start getting vexed? And I have to start getting angry at myself. You're right, Mr. Analytical. We do need to be hella direct. This is what I'm saying. Direct, play football, do things in less touches. And that's all going to happen if man believe in them. See the way we played against Chelsea? Because man believed in themselves. You know, Smith-Rowe, Saka, the Haaland boys believed in themselves. We set it. Man need to believe in themselves. But typically, someone might get nervous and then it goes down the toilet. So we'll have to see, man. Need an upgrade, man. Need an upgrade. And there is some tough decisions to make, man. That's a bit harsh. You know, out of all the people with Leno, I don't think, as much as I think Leno has concerns, Leno be the last to blame. I think Leno's calamity, but there's 100 more calamities before you talk about Leno personally. Facts, DG. Football first, then the club. Our mental health is on the line when supporting this. Listen, for me, winning titles, all of these things, Arsenal have no divine right to do that. But for me, I just want to know when I'm, you know, and you lot as well, when you're working in whatever job you're doing on that Monday, when it comes to Friday, Saturday, there's some real excitement watching your team because you know it reflects the values that you love. I don't see that. That's why. Yeah, man. I try and take this. I try and take this like we're thingy, man. Like I try and take this like I'm Ian Wright or Gary Lineker or one of them that just covering Arsenal. Because when and I think in the last 12 months, my emotions have started showing more on YouTube even more, and that's why I'm kind of drawing back, man. Because now it's starting to really upset me with what I'm seeing. Like before, I could accept shitness from a lot of these guys, but now it's starting to really vex me what we're seeing day in day out. Like it's a mockery. But it is what it is, man. Please make sure you're running up the likes, people. Please make sure you're running up the likes. Let me see where we're on. 151. Come on, people. You lot are violating, man. What's all of that about? 151 likes and there's 273 of you. Something is not adding up, people. So get your questions in as well. I'm trying to see if there's anything Arsenal related online. But again, like you lot are pointing out, you got to be careful on April the 1st, man. That might be where that Sergio Aguero one came from, innit? There doesn't seem to be anything too tough, really and truly. I can't see. I'm trying to find this Odegaard Zidane thing. I can't see none of that. It must be an April Fool's thing. 12 more days until my birthday, though, for you, those of you that are getting your presents in. Come on. The only thing I can see is what we've apparently been told, in that Martin does not want to return to Real Madrid if Zidane continues to coach the first team. I don't know, man. We need to rise up. We need to see some proper proof for that thing, man. Real, boy. Apparently, Mino Raiola is in Barcelona right now. True and 100% confirmed, as Sport reported. He's landed today after meeting with BVB in Dortmund in the last few days to talk about Erling Haaland's future. The race is too open with many clubs involved. So Barcelona are involved, people. What a signing that would be. What, Sergio Aguero and Haaland? I don't know. Maybe it's April Fool's, man. I don't know, man. Again, these transfer rumors, I try not to get involved in any of this shit, man. Because it's just all nonsense. I wonder if it's guy. Yeah, I'm not really getting into any of that, really and truly, man. Thank you very much, man. I'm just gonna allow you, man. I'm not even gonna do it, man. Is that what your baby mum puts on while she's bashing over, man? Twat. What do you want as a present? Anything, broski. Anything, broski. Anything, broski. Big up yourself, Mohammed. He said, good luck, Deluded. Liverpool fan here from Sydney. Spread love, people. Big up yourself, Mohammed, man. You lot should be confident. And I feel Arsenal should be a bit more confident. Come on, Aries gang for life. I've done videos on both of them. You know, I think we should have had a look at the former when he was at Bordeaux and now he's at Monaco still doing his thing. I would take the pay because I like him, but I don't think he solves anything with us, really and truly. I don't think he makes us a stronger team. Oh, easiest one, man. The easiest one, broski. It's the easiest one. Like, why is man telling me about Roadman Pepe Pig, man? Fair enough. Fair enough. Oh, I get more joy out of speaking with you lot, running little banter with you lot, watching Bundesliga, La Liga, watching youth, you know, just talking on my podcast. You know, it's I'm trying not, there's no point being emotionally invested because finances is one thing, time is one thing. We already invest hella time. We're never gonna stop that, but it's the emotion. Like, if I can, it's not that deep, and if my day can continue, it's like you man don't care. Why should I, man? I would love Martinelli to play, man. Not a clue. I guess we'll have to see how they play on loan and what happens when they return, man. Really and truly. Until then, who knows? Who knows? 166 likes. Come on, people, man. Run that up to 200. There's how many? 271 of you. Some of you lot are doing me dirty, man. You lot, whoever hasn't hit that like button, you're gonna bang your little toe when you walk out your front door. And you know them thing they hurt. Oh, it's not even, do you know, I don't mind being compared to someone. It's like, bro, man are saying the roadman Pepper Pig. Like, we know why you're saying that. Like, we know why you're saying that. Like, you're not even trying at them times there. You're just seeing an IC free and doing the same thing. I have no thoughts for that. Big up Silent Wins. What a name, fam. What a name. What a name. I hope you ain't been farting up the place, bro. But you've said, what's your thoughts on Gravenbeck and Locatelli? First one, Gravenbeck, broski, what you already know. Absolute baller, going straight to the top. Would love him at Arsenal Football Club. Would love him, Musa, or Jude Bellingham within the next 2 years. Probably dream chasing. In relation to Locatelli, I think he's done, again, I'm not watching him religiously, but from what I can remember, he's done quite a lot. He's done well for himself since AC Milan. He's really done well. He's developed himself. He's got more clarity over his position. I know many people would say let's stay clear of centre midfielders from Italy now because of what's happened with one. But I would love Locatelli, man. I think he's good, man. Come on, last person to like the Spursy one. I shout out to Gareth Bell for smashing up that yeet as well, kicking out racism the right way. And hopefully we do the same thing on Thursday. That will be one game I'll never forgive. You see, if Arsenal do not smoke that team physically and on the scoreline, I won't. That's one game I will not forgive Arsenal for because we're literally fighting racists. Well, I can't lie to you. Big up yourself, man. Man said, well, I'll go on for Reece Nelson. He's a baller, but I don't see his future at Arsenal. It probably does lie away based on how it's going. We can't write it off. But I think he needs to go somewhere where he's going to play games. And it's not looking like it's going to happen here. To be fair with you, he could still have a future because Arteta told you to go on loan. He didn't go on loan. So can he really be surprised? Who's your number one target in the summer? I would say now it'd be confirming Odegaard. But I can't give up on the hour ones, man. Like, I'm one of them, man. Like, once I was given the thought of bringing Aura to this football club, I'd say Odegaard on loan, bringing in Aura / a number 6 and a right back, man. And it's kind of what Christian is saying here, man. You know, again, I hope it's the case, but I would like to see a centre mid, a number 6, a number 10, and a right back minimum. I would say a centre half for me as well because I think we need that bridge player. It could be Marie, but Marie's only criticism you can say over Marie is the sample size of games hasn't been enough, and also he's had injuries. So I do think we need to find that 25-year-old plus guy that can be used with Gabriel or with Saliba. Don't get twisted. I want it to be Gabriel and Saliba 9 times out of 10, but I think we need one. I do think Arteta is going to use David Luiz as that bridge player, in which I don't find a problem, but I do in the sense of when players are winding down their careers, we don't know how to take the workload off them. Like, we were still playing Koscielny like he's 21 and that. So we'll have to see, man. Do you know what? I'm cool with Matt Ryan staying, you know, bro. If Matt Ryan wants to stay and is able to do, I don't mind him being number 2, you know. He's only played one game against Villa. He did all right. You can tell he's very professional. You can tell he gets it, you know. I don't mind him staying. If not, you're right. We need to go for a backup goalie and we need to get a lot of players gone. We need to bring a lot of players in. Like, I'm sure we'd all agree now. Some man probably will say different, but I'd say positions unanimously agreed by Arsenal fans. I would say right back. I would say a number 10. I would say another number 6 in terms of if Partey is there or not. And I'd say a backup left back. That's 4 signings. Now, for me, I would like a number 8. A number 8. Able to do that. I would like a striker if we was able to do. Obviously, I know it's not going to happen, but I would like a striker. That's probably about 7-8 signings, and none of that's happening in one go, really and truly, man. R.I.P. Rocastle. Oh, come on, my guy, man. Big up David Rocastle for life, man. You know, real Arsenal, man. Unfortunately, lost his life, man. Love Basuma to join in. Happy birthday, in case I forget. Man said happy birthday 12 days early. Presley, you're a real one. Love for that, my guy. And I would be cool on Basuma, man. Claude Broski. And of course I met Claude. Like, there's actually, you can see videos on YouTube of us on it, like on Arsenal Fan TV. Not gonna beg it and say we're best friends because we wasn't, but it was always civil to each other. He's mutual. He's a very good Arsenal man. He'd always tell me what I used to say to him as war stories. He'd tell me about the old Arsenal Donnies and that. And he was a good person. And, you know, whatever you say, Claude loved the club like us. So RIP, my guy, man. You know, hopefully he's smiling from heaven and he's screaming it's time to go from heaven, man. Big up Claude. And hopefully his family, you know, get the peace they need and the strength they need to continue in all of these things. What have you said? What's Koulibaly's situation? Is he really staying at Napoli for his entire prime? Canute to Liverpool was the only other centre-back on my radar. I wouldn't mind Koulibaly, but I'd have to imagine maybe he's just been priced out on a move, man. Maybe he's just been priced out on a move. You're right on that, Hakon. Odegaard has found his place at Arsenal after watching him being mediocre, playing right in 3 matches with Norway. The position and style in Arsenal fits him much more. Happy to hear that, man. Facts. Em is saying backup, left back, right back, 6 and 8/10/striker. Probably going to take us about 2 years to do that. Liam has said, are you not going for Upamecano? I swear he's gone Bayern Munich. I swear he's all but a Bayern Munich player. That one day is gone. I'm not going to lie. I do rate Upamecano, but I think he's one of them. You know, when someone becomes the talk of the land, people start overrating them and forgetting that he needs to develop and all of these sort of things and making out he's world-class and he's not, which I would still take him. I love him, but you get it. It'd be lovely for Partey to pick a great time against Liverpool to score. Would love that. It'd be amazing. Probably in games we're playing a low block, it would be more helpful than others, but fair play. Yo has said, Raya was the keeper Arsenal were pushing for last summer. Is he still worth a shout? Bro, you know, Brentford were asking for a decent, for money Arsenal weren't prepared to pay. So unless they change their stance, unless Brentford lower their price tag, we increase our offer, or the keeper in question really burns bridges and forces the issue, it's probably going to keep that one moving, man. Finesse, man, that German tax, man, German bully, all them clubs there, see? I like him, Donovan, but it's like people just gas him up. People gas it up. Sometimes he puts pressure on his teammates. Sometimes he's a bit lacking mobility, but there's potential there, man. There's potential there for sure. But that's the thing, though. That's the thing, you know. Again, Upamecano's an elite talent and stuff, but the players we've got that need polishing. Obviously, Gabriel has just signed for this club, but you know, Gabriel, Smith-Rowe, Saka, Guendouzi at the time, just to help paint the example. You know, Pepe even to an example, Martinelli now, you know, the rough diamonds that we've got, or the people that we need to polish up, are we doing that to be bringing in other more man? Who knows, man? It really is. K Swift has said, just ate my first Twitch ad. Big up the Twitch gang. The boy is really shining out here. I'm trying, man. You know, hopefully Liverpool don't win, but it is what it is, man. What happens if Odegaard gets injured? Then Smith-Rowe has to step up in it, or then we go back to Lacazette through the 10, or we go with no 10 full stop. And I guess that's a bias sort of thing. You know, something tells me that, you know, for us, I'm pretty sure Ceballos might not start, but something's telling me the Ceballos, the Williams, the Martinellis, the players, with respect to Martinelli, the players that ain't been away in international break, where they've had a chance to really be under the radar of Arteta, I think one of them might grab a start. Nelson, I don't think that, but that's my case, innit? These sort of players here. Who doesn't like Mo Salah? Mo Salah's a baller, broski. Like, I know a lot of people say he's not, what's that fancy word? Aesthetically pleasing and all those sort of things, which might be true, it might not. But, you know, you can't say Mo Salah isn't a Premier League legend. I think in my lifetime, you know, I don't know if he's the best Liverpool player I've seen in a Liverpool shirt, but he's probably up there just based on the fact that he's been part of a team that's won the thing in 30 years. You know, best Liverpool players I've seen. You've got the Fowlers there, you've got Owens there, Gerrard without a doubt is there, Suarez is there. I think you can throw Mo Salah in there still. I would say for me, Jabi Alonso, but obviously he got more praise when he went elsewhere in the footballing community. You hope Liverpool win. Fair enough. We're all allowed to hope what we want. I think Willian is starting. Willian, another one. I think them man are starting regardless. And I know people might, you know, Willian, if you're gonna play, and I'm not against it because of what he gives you defensively, but Bellerin and Willian, if you lot play that third goal, you lot should be looking at You lot should be looking at that goal because both of you let your runner go. So it is what it is. Ceballos be sweating now. That's what I think. They're gonna, man, and they deserve a chance. If they, do you know what? If you've been working hard and he deserves a chance, then fair play. I don't quite think he's up there with Shearer in terms of goal scoring, though. You have to allow him, though. But fair play. I agree with the rest. How much do Real Madrid want for Odegaard? Apparently, anything from 30 to 40. I've even seen 50 million euros. For me, if I'm Real Madrid, I'm not putting no asking price on Odegaard. The more he keeps playing for Arsenal, the more he keeps shining, especially because he's around mediocre players as well. The price tag goes up. If we're really trying to buy Mbappe and Camavinga and all these things, then I need the Ceballos, the Odegaards, the Bales, Brahim Diaz, Renier. Is that Brazilian youth? All of these guys to play well wherever they are, because it means man can be sold and things like that. Hopefully, because Ceballos isn't a bad player. I just think he's lost his way. I just think with Ceballos, it's one of those things there now. Like he's been here 2 years. You've had patches of real purple patches of great form, but you haven't done enough. So it is what it is, man. What have you said? Afternoon, DG. Just noticed I've been made a mod. I'm honest. Come on, River, man. You're here all the time. You're part of the furniture. You're always helping out the man them. So of course I'm gonna make you a moderator. Like, this is why I like to have certain men as moderators. I've seen the report on Nkunku, but we've been linked with him from PSG days. I would love him to come to the club, but again, I'll probably my next live stream tomorrow or something. I'll probably focus on the transfers. I'm trying not to get done by the April Fools ones. But yeah, I would love a Nkunku as well, man. Bro, we keep hearing the planning is done. We keep hearing. I heard these lot say going into last summer, we're ready to move in several directions. What directions did we move? It is where it is. Facts. I don't think so, because he didn't struggle at Roma, but generally I agree, man. I just don't agree with when people say Salah is a system player and things, because by that logic, some more than others, but every player in this world is a systems player, surely, people. But it is what it is in that regards, man. Couple more questions before I keep it moving, people. Get them in. We're at 195 likes. Come on, people. 5 more likes. There's 287 of you. Hit that like button. We get our goal of 200 and we're all happy, people. Big up everybody tuned in. Would you take Ward-Prowse? Yes, I would take Ward-Prowse. I think he's a decent player. He's one of them. He's not going to draw any headlights. But I think he should be playing centre mid regularly for England, because he's not amazing, but he understands the midfield role. He knows how to play it consistently. Obviously, he can hit a set piece. He gets it as well. When you just look at someone, you can tell they understand what they're in. And that's one thing I think is lacking at Arsenal. You can tell Ward-Prowse understands it. So I wouldn't mind Ward-Prowse. I'm a big fan of Declan Rice. Admittedly, he'd probably be a centre half for me, but yeah, I would. Jay, big up yourself. You said, big up DG. I have no confidence in our finances to do what is needed for the summer. What are you saying? Bro, I wouldn't say I'm confident. I wouldn't say I'm negative. Like I say with the results, they need to show me. If they don't show me nothing in the summer, it's what I expected. If you show me that you can go out and buy someone, cool, I'm excited. Like they've Arsenal have taken me on this journey so much now, then that's it for me, innit? Like I can't have any expectations. If you're asking me, do I expect us to do all the summer, all the business in the summer all the business we need to do in terms of having a more competitive side from a footballing point of view? I'd say no. Do I think we're going to sit here and sign a left back and a right back and a centre half and 2 midfielders minimum, among other things? Probably not, man. Broski, you're not the only one, You just said you're new here. I don't know you. You don't pay me, You're not a woman. You don't give me the nookie. Like, so what, I'm not understanding why I have some divine right to answer you. It's these sort of things that pee me off. Bro, suck your mum and fuck off then if you're gonna unsubscribe, bro. Pardon my language, bro. Do you think I'm some personal replier, bro? Am I some puppet, bro? Is this minstrel show or something? Suck your mum and get out of it, man, you idiot, you. Anyways, apologies for that, people. Let's carry on. He would be a good squad player. I think Rice can be a great centre mid. I think he could be an elite centre half, really. But it is what it is. Oh, good question, yo. Who is your young player, flop / surprise of the season so far? I'm going to screenshot that, because I think to do that justice, it would have to be a video. You've put me on the spot. Player of the year? I say Gundogan for me personally, especially if City win the league. I say Gundogan, but there's a bag of names I could say, but Gundogan's the only one. You put me on the spot. Young player, Bukayo Saka / Phil Foden for me. Flop. Werner. Could be Bell, but he's kind of survived himself. He saved himself. Yeah, I'd say them really. Surprise of the season. Put me on the spot. Surprise of the season. Surprise of the season. Who's been a surprise player for me this season? I'd say James Justin because I thought he's a good fullback. I didn't think prior to his injury, I didn't think he would play quite to that high level as consistently, as quickly, So I'd say that, but that's a good question. And to do it justice, I've really got to put that under thingy, man. Bro, it's not even hey, Suchek. You see what I'm saying? You have to put man on the spot. You put man on the spot. Bro, you see Ruben Diaz as well. Bamford surprise could be there. Bro, do you know what it is? I apologize if I miss someone out, but what go on for this thing? Like, man are asking like they're paying, man, bro. What the fuck? Like calm down, fam. Like, there's 287 people here, bro. Sometimes my members, I even forget to reply to the members, and they know it's no malice. Everybody's speaking, bro. Like, there's very few things that can rattle me when people don't listen to exactly what I've said and try to critique me for something I haven't said. And when people do that, I'll unsubscribe. Bro, what do you think this is? Like, what do you think this is? You want me to cry? Man said he subscribed within a couple of hours. Within this period we've been speaking. Oh, boy, if you don't get the hell out of here, bro. Would you take a girl? Personally, I wouldn't. City would have let him go. Wouldn't let him go if he's levels. I would take him because even if he isn't levels, he's better than what we have. I still think he'll score a lot of goals. But when you consider the injury, the age he's at, again, it doesn't scream long-term thinking because you'd have him, you'd have Aubameyang, you'd have Lacazette, you've got Willian and Louise allegedly if he's offered a new deal. So that's that, man. You don't need defensive midfielders to have defensive stability. You need the whole team to understand tactically how to defend, and you need midfielders who just understand that I need to put a foot in. We don't need to have defensive mids as long as people understand both sides of the game. No, but okay, fair play. Not even a violence thing. It's just what am I on, man? And this is it, Jonathan. We do hold on to rubbish in years and sell the best, and this is the crazy thing. I wouldn't mind Suchek, but I'm just going based off a season and a half, really and truly, which is a madness. Hey, surprise of the season, Lingard's a shout. You see it? You see it? When you actually got time to think about it, it's crazy, man. This is it. Yeah, man. When I can get it, I need to sit down and do that justice. What do I make of Nketiah's season? It's been dead. It's been dead. It's been dead for a minute. Like, he ain't progressed. It's been silly. What have you said? Buying too many players mean they will take more time to settle. We may be losing 10, 15. Swear down. So what you reckon? The current playing squad is good enough? Fair play. And you want to buy more? Why City reject? Ignorance is bliss, man. Ignorance is proper bliss, man. I don't know the backside you're talking, but fair play. I wouldn't say it's a surprise though, because I know you're a goal scorer. I know you can score goals, so it's not a surprise for me. A surprise would be a Lingard thing for me. Telemans has had a good season, but again, I wouldn't say surprise because you talked about as being quality, man. He's coming. Hey, he's soon back. Big up my guy Tyrese John Jules. He's fit. He's getting back. When he gets to start again, he's gonna do bits, man. Be expected, it's a bit disappointing the way it happened. Curtis Jones got a bloody nose, and then obviously he scored a late goal, and then it was thingy, but it summed up everything. You slap a bunch of strangers together, you got no tactical bunch of play, and then you've got a manager who you don't really know what he's on, and we're surprised that we're out of the cup, really. And it's even more disappointing because now we're returning with an injured player in Smith-Rowe. So it is what it is, man. Would I play Aubameyang as a striker or a winger? Exclusively, he'd play through the middle for me, but there would be games from time to time, a couple of times a season, I'd need him to go on the left wing. Because Sanj, again, another one, man. You know, it is what it is, man. Big up everyone. But I can't lie, people, man. I've been here for 90 minutes now. I'm going to keep it moving. I've appreciated having you lot here. Please make sure you're there for the watch-alongs and the live reactions and everything else. I'll be back tomorrow. I should have some content dropping later today. I think I did a short little video on the youth signings Arsenal have made, and I think I've done one on, you know, Sam Greenwood and all of the players, all the young players that have left us recently, how they're going. So those videos should come out today, and whatnot. And if you've just joined in, just scroll all the way back, man. I've appreciated having all of you lot here, apart from one who thought I should reply to him, but it's always fantastic speaking with you. Pardon me, speaking with you lot. So please stay blessed. Please make sure you hit the like button if you haven't already. Big up yourselves. Everybody have a great day, man. I appreciate all of you lot. I would take Martial at Arsenal for what it's worth. Big up yourself, River Wild. There's comments like that make my day. So yeah, so unfortunate, but there'll be no rant show. Me, Rants, and Matisse today. There's some technical difficulties on Rants' end, unfortunately. So yeah, man. If I'm not back, you know the thing, people. On that note, people, deluded. I'm out.